प्राइवेट डिफेंस के बारे में, ठीक है, राइट टू प्राइवेट डिफेंस। तो यहाँ पे पर्टिकुलरली आप एक चीज़ नोटिस करोगे, जो आप प्राइवेट डिफेंस की, व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट द प्राइवेट डिफेंस, सो यू कैन एक्सरसाइज योर राइट टू प्राइवेट डिफेंस अगेंस्ट योर बॉडी, अगेंस्ट your own body, and if you want to save any others person body, you can also use a right to private defense. All right, the other important thing is you can use right to private defense even in order to protect your own property, your own belongings. Even if you want to protect any others property, you can also do that. All right, so first of the very first thing you need to understand about it, that if you read section number 38, 39 and 40 respectively, it specifically talks about right to private defense against the body. All right, so these sections talks about using of right to private defense if your body is under any kind of threat, any kind of assault, then you can use section number 38, 39 and 40 of the BNSS. Whereas if you want to protect your property against any kind of harm, then you can use section number 41, 42 and 43 respectively. All right, now slowly and gradually we will look after one another section one by one. Okay, so starting from section number 38. So section number 38 talks about if someone wants to makes an assault. Assault is what? Assault is basically a kind of gestures. Assault are gestures. If someone make any kind of gestures and do some kind of assault, and by doing that assault, there is a reasonable apprehension, of death, that if someone is showing such kind of gestures, that there will be a reasonable apprehension that if I am not going to use my right to private defense, then the resultant can be very dangerous. So what kind of resultant we are talking about? Death. If I'm not going to use private defense, then the consequence might be death will be the resultant. So the very first thing that you need to understand here is that if you want to use your right to private defense, then you have to prove in the court of law that the accused has shows the gestures that will resulted into the apprehension of death. So then in that particular case, you can use your right to private defense. Another important thing is that if somebody is showing a gesture, someone is showing you an assault, that will cause a reasonable apprehension of grievous hurt. Okay, and that will cause a reasonable apprehension of grievous hurt. Then also the person on whom the assault has been caused, that person will have a right of private defense. Okay, by using the right of private defense, he can even cause a death of the aggressor. So the thing that you need to understand, who is the aggressor? Aggressor is the person who is using the assault, who is showing the gesture, in order to commit the offense. Hi. All right, so another thing is, if the aggressor is using an assault, with the intention of committing an rape, if the aggressor is using some kind of gesture or assault, and the aggressor has an intention to commit the rape, okay, then in that particular case also, if the person who is standing by that person, or the victim of the rape, okay, the person who is a rape victim has also the power to cause the death of the aggressor. Okay, she will also has the power to cause the death of the aggressor. Okay, the D clause, the specifically section 38 clause D of the BNSS, which strictly provides about the unnatural lust. If you might have, as a legal student, you must know what are your legal rights. So even if you might have seen that the two male person will try to indulge in a sexual activity against the will of another person. Okay, if the person is forcefully doing it, okay, if the two person are forcefully doing it, if the some person is not willing to perform any sexual act, but instead of resisting, the person is forcefully indulging in the sexual activity with another male, then you might be aware of that this is also an offense. This is also an offense. If the person who wants to stop, if the person who doesn't want that this activity has to be stopped, then even to protect the body of its own, who is that person? These offense, I don't know what are you talking about. So in order to protect his own body, he can do what? He can cause a death of the aggressor. All right. So in order to protect himself, he can even cause a death of the aggressor. Okay. Another thing is, now you might have heard of kidnapping. You might have heard of kidnapping. I don't know why you said this word, Kritsi Avid, shut up. You please don't, write such kind of comment, because it will going to disturb me a lot while I'm going to study. All right. So I want to give a knowledge about the legal aspects, so that general public must be aware of his rights. So don't disrupt in between by using such kind of comments. I'm not, to be very frank, I don't entertain such kind of comments. All right. So I usually don't entertain such kind of comments. So please don't disturb us. All right. So it's not a class that will be like hoo hoo ha ha he he he. No, not that type. Okay, I'm a serious lawyer. I'm practicing as a lawyer, and I'm do respecting you that you have joined us, but don't do that. All right. I don't entertain it. Who is this Medicine Western Draft? I don't know. Okay, but I'm trying to. I have to avoid. Good morning, everybody. So now we were talking about the kidnapping. All right. Even if somebody wants to kidnap you, all right. Even if somebody wants to kidnap you, and by using the assault, by showing such kind of gestures, okay. All right, it's okay. By showing such kind of gestures, okay, he will trying to kidnap you. Then in these circumstances, you have also, yes, I'm married. So in this kind of circumstances, then you are also having a right to cause a death of the aggressor. Even some person wants to kidnap you, and this is the moment when you will get a right even to cause a death of the aggressor person. All right. Now you have to understand that kidnapping is generally of two type. That is two type. The very first is taking, and the another one is enticing. So kidnapping is done according to the law, as per two types, that is by taking, and another thing is enticing. The word when I use a taking, it means the person who is making a kidnapping, doing it forcefully. So when a person is doing kidnapping by using force, then that kidnapping is said to be kidnapping by taking. But whereas if the kidnapping is done by enticing, enticing means कि आपको लालच देना और लुभाना. So if the kidnapping is done only by enticing, then it will not lead to then it will not help you to cause a death to the aggressor. अगर कोई आप पे फोर्सफुली यूज कर, बाय यूजिंग दैट फोर्स, इफ द पर्सन इज ट्राइंग टू किडनैप यू, then only then only you will have a right, then only you will have a right to cause a death of the aggressor. Okay. Now if you have heard about the abduction, and abduction is also by of two kind, that is by force and by for deceitful. So deceitful means what? Deceitful means धोखाधड़ी. All right. Okay. Okay, all right, all right, all right, all right. No need to say sorry again and again. It's okay. So I am just taking this lessons. I'm coming live in order to help you, in order to bring an awareness about legal terminology, because in a country like India, there is a very myth about that. This, if I'm going doing this, it might be cause consequences like this. So that is, this live section will helpful to you also. So if you want to have any legal queries, you can put it here instead of blaming each other and doing its and buts. Getting my point? This I'm coming live. I want to, even I'm having so many cases in my line, but in order to save some time and in order to help you, that's why. Now in there are so many, even if the person wants to attempting to throw an acid on you. Okay, you know that the person is coming with a bottle that is having a acid in it. So you know that the person is coming with an assault, with a gesture. Now your friend will aware you that somebody wants to hit you, somebody wants to throw an acid on you. Then the moment if somebody is coming in front of you that is having a bottle of acid, then it's very quite obvious, it's very quite obvious that you will be like shaken up. Now at this moment you are having a right even to cause a death of the person who is trying to throw an acid on you. Do you know that? Do you know that even if the person is having an acid in his hand, and it will, you know, it will instantly assault you, it will give a gesture like that, that you will get gotten an apprehension of death. All right. So at that moment you are having a right even to kill the person who wants to throw an acid on you. All right. We have read about so many things, right, in case of private defense. Now I just want to ask one question to you, if you were ready to give me the answer. Okay, so the my question is that I'm having a gun in my hand. Okay, I'm having a gun in my hand. So by looking at my gun, you got an right of private defense. Okay, you have an apprehension that if I will not going to kill that particular person, then the resultant would be death of mine. Okay, so thank you, thank you, thank you. So the resultant would be like death will be the consequence. All right. So in order to protect yourself, what you will gonna do is that either you can kill me. So now the moment I have thrown my gun, and will be okay, both of us will be okay, you and me both will be okay. Okay, I have thrown the gun, you and me both will be okay. Now there is no apprehension of any kind of death. Now I want to ask you one question. Then still you are going to have a right of private defense in order to kill me? So that is the answer that has to be given as per section number 40 of the BNSS. It says that when your right of defense will start, yes, right, when your right of private defense will start and when your right of private defense will comes to an end. So the moment there will be no apprehension of death, at that very moment your right of private defense is also going to be stuck down. You will not going to kill that person anymore. All right. Okay. What if they lift their gun and you think they are going to, obviously the moment agar uske apna, what happened now, again a reasonable apprehension is come into your mind that the death will going to be caused if I'm not going to kill that particular person. Okay, the moment he lift his gun again, you will going to resume your right of private defense against the aggressor in order to kill that particular person. Getting my point or no? Okay, I just have one more question for you. So the general thing is that there will be, if you read about section number 34 of the BNSS, okay, if you read section number 34 of the BNSS, it only a declaratory section, okay. It only says that you are having a right of private defense if somebody wants to kill you, okay. So it's a declaratory section, and if you kill that person, as per the criminal law, you will not have any criminal liability. So it's a declaratory section. All right. Next, if you move ahead, that is section number 34. Okay. Section number, 35 of the BNSS. It says that you will going to have a right of private defense in order to protect your own body, and even if you want to protect your friend's body or mother's father's body, you are also having that right too. All right. All right. So you are having a right of private defense against your body as well as against any other's body. Even if you want to exercise your right to private defense in order to protect your property. So property can be any why I'm using the property can be any, because it can be a movable property, it can be any movable property as well. So you are having a right of private defense in order to protect your own body, any other's body, your own property, even to any other's property as well. Okay. So the section number, I have already dealt you in depth about section number 38 of the BNSS, which says that you can kill a person if you want to protect, if you want to protect your own body. All right. Similarly, there is a situation where you can cause any other harm apart from causing a death to the person. Okay. You can strictly refer to the section number 39 of the BNSS. Okay. So when does it start? When does it end? It's all provided under section number 40 of the BNSS. Waqas Hussain, are you from the UK? All right, all right, all right, all right. Yeah. It can be. I don't know, but I'm from India. All right, all right. But I'm from India. All right. So thank you. You will stay here for a longer time. I will be helpful to. This will be. I'm sure that these lectures will be helpful to you all. Thank you. Goodbye.